I think the biggest surprise for me is how quickly the major players seem to feel that this would be inevitable. They went from crypto's all a bunch of scams and it's never going to threaten TradFi.
That actually sets the stage for moving into a modern day payment system into the 21st century, getting us off the old system that was designed in the 1970s and 80s, making the dollar the key element in the digital arena.
Yeas are 68, the nays are 30. The bill as amended is passed.
How's everything at Ripple?
Awesome. Yeah, great things happening. So we recently announced that we just had and received our DFSA license. So we're a fully licensed payment service provider for cross-border payments here in the region. And we're the first.
You don't want to miss it. Sounds like you don't want to miss it.
Crypto's here. I don't think I would have gone in full-time as an industry if it was just Bitcoin. What's really interesting about the rest of crypto, these decentralized platforms.
XRP, just because of banking, but look for them on the outside chance to move into point of sale. If that happens, 10%.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags, and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Over here to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We got XRP currently right around $2.16. We got Stanford Crypto breaking live. Genius hack. Floor vote. So it begins.
Yeas are 68, the nays are 30. The bill as amended is passed.
Mr. President.
Senator from Tennessee.
I ask unanimous consent that the Senate be in a period of mourning business with senators permitted to speak therein for up to 10 minutes each.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that the Senate now proceed to the en bloc consideration of the following resolutions, which are at the desk. Senate Resolution 284, Senate Resolution 285, Senate Resolution 286.
Senator Bill Hagerty. Today, on the bipartisan basis, the Senate passed its first piece of major legislation this Congress with my bill, the Genius Act. With Genius, the United States is one step closer to becoming the crypto capital of the world. The Genius Act establishes the first ever pro-growth regulatory framework for payment stablecoins. This bill will cement the U.S. dollar dominance, protect customers, increase demand for U.S. treasuries, and ensure that innovation in the digital asset space is in the hands of the United States of America. Batman bag ladies. So it begins. I hope you've been loading up on those generational wealth bags. Paul Barron breaking the U.S. Senate has passed the Genius Act vote by 51-23, moving the legislation to the House for a vote. Senator Bill Hagerty is excited to see the Genius Act pass, establish the U.S. dollar dominance, revitalize our payment system into the 21st century, make the United States the worldwide leader in stablecoins.
I'd say first, I'm very enthusiastic about the stablecoin legislation that I've led. We've been working on this for months. We have a strong bipartisan product. We will deliver that midday today. We'll have it ready. And I think it's got a tremendous amount of input from the industry, from my colleagues here. We've involved the administration. I think we're going to have a great product that actually sets the stage for moving into a modern day payment system into the 21st century, getting us off the old system that was designed in the 1970s and 80s, making the dollar the key element in the digital arena. And frankly, it will stimulate more demand for U.S. treasuries. It will strengthen the dollar's position as a reserve currency. We're going to see that advance in a way that, again, takes a lot of friction out of an old clunky system, reduces counterparty risk, reduces currency risk, and will bring a lot of working capital back to the companies that need it and back into the economy. With respect to the SEC, I couldn't ask for a better partner than Paul Atkins. He's doing a terrific job already. We're going to be working arm in arm to try to help advance the entire cryptocurrency industry, the entirety of this industry. They'll keep us on the cutting edge of the 21st century. As you mentioned, I want to make my state a hub. We've got Bitcoin miners there. We've got Bitcoin Park there. We had the great Bitcoin conference there that President Trump attended. That's where he announced that he would be firing Gary Gensler. I think that received great applause, and I think everybody's extremely happy to see someone strong, conservative, hard-nosed fellow like Paul Atkins coming into office. I'm looking forward to working, arm in arm together with him.
The transformation of wealth is upon us. Bags packed. Locked and loaded. Eleanor Terrett, translation, the SEC Governor Ripple. I filed a status report with the Second Circuit and are asking it to keep it paused on the appeals while waiting on a a decision from the district court. In light of the pending motion for an indicative ruling, the parties have requested that the Second Circuit continues to hold the appeals in abeyance. James K. Filon. Ripple has filed a supplemental letter in support of the motion for indicative ruling. We got All In Crypto, Bragg Arlenhouse, David Schwartz talk tokenized real world assets, naming BlackRock's bullishness on real world assets and how Ripple is working with institutions to acquire treasuries with OpenEDX, Archax.
Seeing Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, publicly, this is one of the largest asset managers on the planet, publicly lean into his belief around tokenization of real world assets as a profound opportunity. And as some of you guys know, and I think certainly David and I spent time talking about, we've had a bunch of announcements on this front. OpenEden most recently doing the tokenization of U.S. treasuries. I think Ripple may or may not have yet publicly announced we're actually going to allocate and buy about $10 million worth of OpenEden U.S. treasuries, which will be kind of the on-chain version, if you will. But also, one of the things we announced at our last Apex, our developer conference, was a relationship with Archax, and I think he's on stage later today. Is that right? Do you know that?
No, I'm not sure.
All right. I think I'm supposed to give a plug around that. But I'm curious, any other surprises from you on real world assets, either why it's taken long or why it's happening quickly? What's your thoughts?
I think the biggest surprise for me is how quickly the major players seem to feel that this would be inevitable. They went from crypto's all a bunch of scams and it's never going to threaten TradFi, to starting to see that we see polls where these institutional players believe that this is definitely going to happen. And the interesting thing about that is that means that they need to establish defensible positions. And I think that kind of segues interestingly into our play in custody with the acquisition of Medico, to put ourselves in a position to, people who issue real world assets, they're not going to all want to build their own platforms and management and all that.
DAI with legislation coming. The Wall Street guys are now saying the quiet part out loud. They made their billions on the prototypes. We're about to see the real thing, XRP.
We've got stable coins. Just saw Circle did an IPO.
Yeah.
As payments, that's going to continue to be a big industry. And then the rest, we're going to have tokenization of equities, tokenization of bonds, tokenizations of CDOs, tokenizations of other assets.
You don't want to miss it. Sounds like you don't want to miss it.
Crypto's
and the
here.
fact that
I don't think I would have gone in full time as an industry if it was just Bitcoin. What's really interesting about the rest of crypto, these decentralized platforms, which we haven't seen work yet, to be honest, right? They're close. Now they're fast enough and safe enough, and now we're going to have regulation that allows them, is that the ability to have peer-to-peer transfer of value. And so you're going to see it in ticketing, you're going to see it in social media, you're going to see it in finance, lending, this idea of decentralized stuff. It's been in a sandbox till now, and it's about to move out of the sandbox and into the real world.
Banks, institutions on their way to pump our bags up. Pump our bags up. Paul Barron's stablecoin bill could start an epic rally.
Obviously, ETH, that's where all the big money is going to be moving. That's 50% of your portfolio. Solana, you could come in mainly targeted at retail, around 25%. XRP, just because of banking, but look for them on the outside chance to move into point of sale. If that happens, 10%. Then you get into layer 2. This will be Solana alternatives, Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon. Those all hover around 9%. Then you'll get into Stellar for cross-border payments if you want to cover that. Flow, this is right now getting PayPal-backed yields. That doesn't necessarily mean, but that's where you're going to see the largest yields. So potentially 2.5% there. Then growth brands, growth chains to watch. Avalanche, Sui, Aptos, all of those will slide into that last position. That's a portfolio that you're building around just stablecoin.
XRP, the XRP ledger, the go-to premier blockchain platform in the utility era. Know what you hold. Down bullish as once we flip the switch, it'll be ultra rich. Axelar XRP ledgers feature a frictionless UX needs infra that speaks every chain's language. That's where Axelar comes in. Pierces.
When you imagine the XRP ecosystem in 2030, what's something that you hope it does that it doesn't today?
Seamless interoperability, I think, is the big one. If users have to think about where things are, they're going to get a terrible experience. The great thing about the internet, when you use the internet, you don't have to think about where you are, or where the server is, or what technology it's using. The internet just works, right? And so as a result, when you build tools for the internet, everybody can use them. What I want it to do that it doesn't do today is provide that kind of seamlessness, to provide a target market that people can aim their products and services at, and provide that user experience where you feel like there's a million different things that you can do and they all just work. That's how every technology gets mass adoption.
The AI, the adults in the room, FinTech Summit 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Entrepreneur TV Middle East. We're here day 2 at FinTech, and with me is Reese. He is the managing director at Ripple. Thank you so much for coming once again. Lovely seeing you.
Great to be here.
How's everything at Ripple?
Awesome. Yeah, great things happening. So we recently announced that we just had and received our DFSA license. So we're a fully licensed payment service provider for cross-border payments here in the region. And we're the first blockchain-enabled payment provider, which is huge.
Amazing. How do you build that trust in such a decentralized area such as blockchain?
Look, I think Ripple have been in the market for a long time now. We're often viewed as the adult in the room as it comes to blockchain and crypto. And I think it's early engagement with regulators. I think the UAE is phenomenal because they open the doors to be able to provide an overview of what you're looking to do, how you're looking to do it. They want to learn, and they want to actually put a framework in place which allows businesses like Ripple to come here and build.
Right. Is there any sort of fintech trend that you love and that you hate?
Ooh.
One that you would completely want to remove, and one that you would want to advance even further?
Look, I think I'll talk about what I love. I love the fact that there's certain regions and geographies where they are embracing it and enabling it. I think UAE is kind of one of those areas. I think that payments is the killer use case as I see for fintech, and I think that we're going to see some huge growth there.
Great. What sort of future plans can we see for Ripple coming on the horizon?
Continuation of what we're doing. We've grown 50% over the last couple of years here in Dubai. We've just got our license, which enables us to serve FIs, large payment service providers in the region for cross-border payments. And I think we'll see a continuation of stable coins and custody. So lots going on.
Great stuff, Reese. Thank you so much for coming over.
Stellar was designed to connect blockchain to real-world use cases like PayPal's two-sided payment network.
I think the most important value that we focus on in Stellar is actually connecting blockchain to real-world use cases. And what's incredibly exciting is a launch with a global institution like PayPal launching QYUSD is so valuable because PayPal has been designed to build a connected two-sided network of merchants and consumers. Now, the ability to go leverage this partnership with MoneyGram, a global business with 450,000 physical locations across 150 countries, brings so much promise to what blockchain can actually deliver. And I, for one, am incredibly excited for the potential for that to happen on a network like Stellar that is designed to really solve real-world use cases.
Altcoin season index currently still in Bitcoin season, currently right around a 20. We need to be above a 75 for it to be a full-blown altcoin season. Still waiting on altcoin season to return to its peak at around a 98, 99. Crypto Bull 2020. This is the last week of consolidation for XRP. Next week is moon time. Load up while you still have some time, and the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Rich list. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open? The XRP's true price is finally revealed. We'll catch you up here on the mothership. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. BYOB, bring your own bags, be your own boss, be your own bank. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play around here.